Company wants to launch mirrors into orbit to reflect sunlight to Earth at night. Should technology reshape the night sky, or should darkness remain one of the few untouched parts of our planet? Good evening, my night listeners, and a very special happy birthday to Wyatt. Broadcasting from somewhere above the 45th parallel, this is Sunny with Nite Muse Media. Tonight we're looking up not for something mysterious in the sky, but for something humans may soon put there on purpose. A startup company has proposed an unusual idea, launching satellites equipped with large reflective mirrors designed to bounce sunlight down to Earth at night. As if it isn't already hard enough to sleep at night. The concept is simple, at least on paper. When the sun has set for people on the ground, it's still shining just beyond the horizon in space. A mirror placed in orbit could reflect that sunlight back toward Earth. The company behind the proposal says the reflected light could briefly illuminate solar farms after sunset, allowing them to keep producing electricity for an extra few hours. In theory, this could help extend solar energy production into the evening when demand for electricity often peaks, but before any test can happen, the company must receive approval from the Federal Communications Commission. And that's where the debate begins. Because while the idea sounds futuristic, maybe even perhaps elegant, critics say it could come with unintended consequences. Astronomers worry that mirrors in orbit could increase light pollution, making it harder for telescopes to observe faint stars, distant galaxies, other objects deep in space, maybe asteroids, coming toward Earth. That's kind of important. Environmental scientists point out that darkness plays an important role in our natural world. Migratory birds navigate by the stars, and sea turtles rely on natural light to find the ocean after hatching. Many of our insects and nocturnal animals depend on the rhythm of night and day. They may stop reproducing. Artificial light already affects ecosystems across the planet and in our homes. Some researchers worry that bringing new sources of light into orbit could extend those disruptions even further. And there's another issue quietly growing above our heads. Yep, space junk. Thousands of satellites now circle the Earth, and tens of thousands more are planned. Every one of them has a limited life. Eventually, their fuel is going to run out, electronics will fail, technology becomes obsolete, and when that happens, they become something else. They become debris, they become fragments. They're just now silent objects moving through orbit at nearly 17,000 miles per hour. In the long enough timeline, nearly everything we launch into space is going to become junk. So unless it's brought down intentionally, it will remain there, circling the planet long after its mission is ended. For centuries, the night sky symbolized a sense of permanence. The stars felt eternal, and now we are filling that same sky with temporary machines, and perhaps the deeper question behind this story isn't really about mirrors in space. Maybe the core of it is about energy. Because one of the questions that we really need to focus on and that we rarely ask anymore is not just how to produce more electricity, but how much electricity we truly need. 2 to 3 generations ago, many homes still had hand pumps in the yard to water gardens and livestock. Clothes dried on a line in the sun, and hair dried in the morning air. Many everyday tasks were designed so they didn't require a motor at all. Water moved because someone worked the pump handle, and clothes dried because sunlight and wind did the job. Windows opened to cool a house instead of compressors running all afternoon. No one thought of these things as energy conservation. It was simply living within the rhythms of the day. Individually, each of those choices used very little power, but multiplied across millions of homes, they shape the energy needs of an entire society. Today, we often try to solve energy challenges by building larger and more complex systems, more power plants, more transmission lines, more satellites in orbit. Perhaps those solutions are part of the future. Yeah, that's a given. But perhaps another part of the answer is remembering something we once understood, that not every task requires a motor, and not every problem requires electricity. Every step we take contains a tiny amount of energy. Scientists are experimenting with ways to capture that energy. They're turning footsteps into electricity. We have piezoelectric tiles that are being used in some cities to generate power with every step that a human takes on the flooring below their feet, with no need for outside electrical flow to accomplish this. These are the innovative, progressive steps we need to be moving toward, not toward our dependence on soon-to-be antiquated resources. We need to move further backward, actually, to less energy consumption, working more with the natural flow of the world we reside on, creating mechanicals that do not need external power other than perhaps gravity and physics. Can you tell I get excited about this subject? Turbines, solar panels, fuel. Our descendants may look back and shake their heads and fists at us. Sometimes the most appropriate solutions are the ones that work quietly, with sunlight and wind and time, and not huge turbines. That's just not going to get us through in the long run. And in some ways, this question echoes something we talked about recently with reflecting on Fukushima. Energy decisions are never just about technology. They are about scale and responsibility and the long shadow of our choices that are cast across generations. Whether we are building nuclear power plants, launching satellites, or lighting the night sky itself, every energy system carries both promise and consequence. This is just the way it is, because every system we build, every object that we launch, it's going to become part of the world someone else is going to inherit from us. The question isn't simply what technology we can create. The question is what kind of ancestors we choose to be. Follow the signals and question the noise, and I'll see you again on the night side.